Hello, and thank you for joining our webinar, Intro to Torq Chatbots. There will be time for questions towards the end of today's webinar, so please enter your questions into the Q&A tab, and our team will respond during the allotted time. I'm pleased to introduce you to our speaker today, Marco Garcia, our field CTO here at Torq. Thank you so much, and take it away, Marco.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you everybody for joining us for this webinar. Today we'll be talking about utilizing chatbots for security teams. And what benefits can that bring into your organization, and the simplicity that we have accomplished here with Torq in order to create those components. But before I get started, like I said, my name is Marco Garcia. I am the field CTO here at Torq. Happy to be with everybody. Let me get going, and let me give you a quick introduction of what Torq is, first of all, for those in the audience that are joining us for the first time. We are an automation and orchestration platform built for security and operation teams. What makes us different? Number one, we allow you to bring any part of your security stack without ever being blocked, or without having to wait for the vendor to write it for you, or without having to write it yourself. So we give you all the right tools in order for you to be able to accomplish your automation without ever being blocked. That which leads into the component number two, the ability to create workflows within minutes, providing the simplicity. Being a no-code company, using our workflow designer, you can build automations within minutes, spend an hour or two, and build a production-grade workflow that you can apply it into your day-to-day operations, without an issue. You don't need to spend months and months like writing code or executing all the tasks. That gives you number three, which is eliminating all the repetitive work, which lets you focus on delivering better security for your organization. And where do we sit? Torq allows you to bring all the tools from within your security ecosystem together, allowing you to build powerful automations with a short time to value, like I mentioned before. What does that mean? Again, is that you can build and modify production workflows within minutes, and take them into a templatable format that you can continue creating workflows to automate all of those repetitive tasks, across your security ecosystem. We are pretty much like what says on the screen, the glue that bind it all together. We are an orchestration and automation platform built and focus on those use cases for the security practitioners, security organizations out there. Our customers use Torq to automate many use cases. Things like security posture management, identity and lifecycle management, vulnerability management, and many more. But today, we'll be talking and demonstrating what are the benefits for chatbots. This is the reason why you're all here today, right? And what are some of those benefits that establishing chatbots and adding automation with the communication tools that you have can bring to your security program? What are some of those benefits that can be brought in? So let's get right into it. What are chatbots? For people that have worked in many companies or are working in many companies, you probably have a communication platform that you're leveraging, right? Whether it's Slack, whether it's Teams, whether it's WebEx, whether it's Google Chat, whether it's you name it, right? There's so many out there, and you are using it for like day-to-day communication between multiple teams that you have, right? And that is perfect, right? You're chatting with people, taking actions in real time. That is great. And you have probably noticed that many of these tools have a component which is almost like a feature which is for business automation, right? Well, what do I mean by business automation? Perhaps you want to receive reminders from Salesforce when a new opportunity has been opened, or maybe you want to update that opportunity from within Slack and send it into Salesforce, right? Notifications when a new email has arrived, or maybe act upon a reminder on a task that you have set up a reminder on your Google Workspace, and then automate the flow of the action that happens. Maybe posting to a new project plan, right? Like somebody posts an update to a project plan, you get a message on Slack, on Teams, on WebEx, you name it. Maybe a new ticket has been opened. So a bunch of components around business automation that has been built around these communication platforms that are being leveraged by many organizations. And you see them in many of those marketplaces that they have called as apps. Apps equals chatbots. They communicate back to you in a very simple way, right? But what about taking the power of automation that these chatbots provide you, the power of that communication, the ability to do faster decisions, collaborate across teams, to take that into your security practice, foster cross-team collaboration whenever there is an incident, ability to automate repetitive processes, create incident response channels in which you are collaborating with multiple organizations, around in many different groups that you have, right? Automate investigations, many more things that you can imagine that you can accomplish with this. They are possible. They are possible with the chatbots, but typically users sit back and think, oh, wow, I wish I could go in and query my EDR and find out the status of an endpoint by just typing a command in Slack or typing a command in Teams and bringing me back the information and maybe bringing me back more actions. Many users sit back and think, wow, this is amazing, but this is gonna take me a long time to figure out how to get this working, how to get it started. No, I have so many other things to focus on. This will be great, but I honestly don't have the time to do it. It might be very complicated. Well, this is the reason why we're here today. To show you how here at Torq, we are simplifying the ability for you to create those chatbot experiences, in order for you to communicate with any component of your security stack and make it part of our repetitive day-to-day operations that you will bring into your users, right? But instead of me just talking about it, let's jump into it and let me show you how. I will be sharing my next screen in 1 second. So give me one moment. Okay, so now we're at the live demonstration of what we're going to do over here. So here we have connected to a couple of the most popular vendors that you see out there in the market. Like one of them being, for example, Slack, right? We have Teams, we have WebEx, and what are some of those functions that the people are doing in there? Like I mentioned, the business automation. But what about using these platforms in order to automate like security-based investigations and practice, right? For example, let's take a look at a component that can be done with Slack. Let me go in and use a / command within Slack in order to maybe enrich a URL, right? And the enrichment of the URL, maybe I'm going to go in and paste a URL that came into an event and see how this URL reacts. So I'm going to send this command into it, and then I get a response back that says, okay, I'm enriching this URL. Something is happening behind the scenes. And some processing is happening here. Okay, the URL has been enriched. That got sent. It got sent into my threat intelligence engine, and it displayed the results back to me. It displayed the results of a couple engines, as a matter of fact, and gave me a verdict that this IP, that this URL is malicious, with an actionable item that allows me to say, okay, add this to a block list, open up a ticket, ignore and research only, and the user can then just go in and select this component, and then go in, and the IP was added into a block list. So accomplishing this automation seems like, wow, this will take a long time to accomplish. But as a matter of fact, I will show you how simple this is to be done in a minute. So what you saw here is the example of an outbound automation from within the platform. Just like this, you can continue creating your commands and adding more commands into the communication platform in order to execute many functions, right? So when I typed that / command here, it gave me multiple components that I can add at any point of time, and you see it right into your Slack platform. See, you can continue adding more commands and build this as your CLI for your operations teams. So Torq gives you the ability to build this in a matter of minutes, and I will show you how. And then expand it, keep on expanding it, keep on adding components into it. So going back into the demonstration over here, you saw like an outbound communication. I type a command, I get something, I get the response, I get an action. Chatbots are also used as a response mechanism when an alert has happened. So somebody doesn't have to type something in it. You might be able to receive something right here in the bot, if you have triggered an event. For example, let me give you a use case. What if I log into AWS and I logged into the root account of AWS, and maybe I come in from an unknown IP, right? The same thing can happen to any of the vendor consoles that you're logging in from an unknown IP, logging into a privileged account. Maybe you want to ask the user if they have done that action, if we validate that IP is actually a risky IP. So while I'm talking over here, I am logging into my AWS account, and you will see in a minute that I just received an alert that came in that says, did you just log into the console of the AWS account from this IP address? The IP address seems to be a suspicious IP address, right? Can you validate whether you did this? This was not an outbound event that I type a command, but an inbound event in which I'm involving the user in the middle as part of the decision making of what I'm going to do with this incident. So here I can say, okay, yes, look, I was doing a demo here for a customer, and I didn't mean to do it. So I said, yes, it was me. And the bot will ask me for an explanation for auditing purposes. I can go back and I can say, yes, I did it. I had to fix something. Sorry. No. Submit this, and this behind the scenes has driven a complete workflow in order to create and validate all of these actions, open up a ticket, and all of these components. But let me show you how the workflow looks like behind the scenes. Let me refresh the list of the workflows on the execution on how this has been made. This is a suspicious login, which is what we just accomplished now. And you see the event comes in from AWS, gets the IP address against VirusTotal. If this was a root login and it was suspicious, it will find the user in Slack. If the user was found in Slack, it will ask the user about the suspicious login. If they did it, good, no. And then it will save that all of those responses and the audit in action right here for you in a ServiceNow ticket. So creating this is a production grade workflow that can be repeatable and opened up to anybody pretty much that would like to build this. This is a very simple thing to accomplish within our platform. But no, you might be thinking, okay, this is great, Marco. No, you're showing me all this stuff in Slack. What about if I don't have Slack? What about if I have Teams, right? Teams is able to give you the same ability to accomplish this task. No, for example, in Teams, let me go in and say I'm going to tell the bot check IP. I'll say no 93.189.42.8. Right. This is going to launch a workflow just like you saw in Slack and drive that IP against the automation that will come back with an action, just like what you see here. See, like I had an example over here. The verdict for this IP is harmless. Would you like to add it to a penalty box? I can go in and click yes. I'll add it to a penalty box. Not a problem. That's a very simple component to do. I am just doing IP triage. I can add it to a penalty box for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and continue doing that. Building that logic as part of my workflow as I go into. Another use case that you will see for this one, and you have seen event triage and all of those components. Let's look at WebEx now. WebEx has also communication, the ability to create bots and communicate with multiple components and multiple teams. In WebEx, I can type something simple as like help, tell me what do I have. It tells me all the available commands that are part of my automation at the moment, right? And I can say, okay, WebEx, maybe I want to check if this user has created rules, email rules that are forwarding emails outside of the organization. Tell me if this is the case. So I can go in and I can say, check email rules, and we are going to test it against my user, right? Against my user over here, and my user is Marco, and this. And let me make sure that I type it correctly. All right, so I just launched now an investigation against my user to see if I actually have rules that match malicious forwarding rules that is being sent outside of the organization. And the answer is yes. I just received this component, and no, if I'm looking at it from a SOC operations perspective, do I want to remediate it immediately? I can remediate it. I can open a ticket. I can contact the user. I can send them an email. I can do many actions after I have found this component. And then maybe in this case, I just want to say remediate, remove the selected rules, and then continue going on with my day. This will open up a ticket for me. This will go and remove the rules from the selected user. It will perform a bunch of actions of whatever I wanted to perform in this user mailbox, right? As it's going through. See, it removed the forwarding rules. It gave me the user ID. It can give me a ticket number. It can give me any component. But no, so far I think you guys are getting the idea that the power that the chatbots are bringing into your organization is multifold. No, the ability to provide simplicity of the investigation of the events that your operations teams are doing, the ability to standardize some of the ways that your processes and procedures are working, the ability to streamline the work that they're doing, given the commands and the tools in order for them to access these components, interacting with many components of your security stack instead of doing manual interaction and repetition of all of these pieces. Being able to go in and educate your user. Hey, you just logged on with a root login. Hey, maybe you just share a drive on Google Drive, and then I'm telling you, did you mean to share that file? Everything can be a user experience that will allow your security and operation teams to focus on what's important, which is the triage of the real events, right? But going back into what we were discussing, right? How simple is this to accomplish, right? Torq has made it very simple to accomplish. We give you the ability to create your own commands into each one of these communication platforms with a very simple component, like for example over here you call it like a hello world, right? So let's go in and let's select like Microsoft Teams for example. Let's examine these templates. And how complex are these templates that we'll be looking at? So what you're looking at here is the three components that are needed in the platform in order to receive those events. It comes into a webhook, the keyword that you're looking for, the authentication against the token board itself, and the reply that you're going to send. So let's go in and call this, instead of hello world, I am gonna call it hello Torq, right? I'll call it hello Torq, and here I am going to say hello to this person greetings from Torq, right? As easy as that. This is a very simple description of how this can be done, and I'll call this hello Torq, right? I'll save this, no, and then we're gonna test it. What we are matching here is this keyword that is called hello Torq. So I'll go into my Teams console, into my chat, and I'll do hello Torq, right? And hit enter. What this is going to provide is going to go in and send the notification to that webhook, process that event, and give me the details of what just transpired, right? This is as simple as that. We can do that with Slack. We can do that with Teams. We can do this with WebEx. No, Slack, like I mentioned, gives you the ability to create slash commands within Slack in the application over here. So I can go in and say, and this one, hello Torq, give it a webhook, a description, hello Torq, a hint or something, and then this will tie this slash command into a webhook that will come back and it will reply back to me. So then, as simple as doing this is nothing really too complicated to do. So see, this is a hello Torq. Now the command shows up over here. If I do, like, for example, hello world, which was a previous one, this hello world is going to just send a message back to me saying, hello Marco. And hello world was built from a template that I did that I showed you guys use a moment ago from this. So from the template library, here you will see like the hello world for Slack. So if you want to do hello world for Slack, this is a very simple to do. You want to do hello world for WebEx, this is a simple to do. But over here, you're saying, okay, look, I don't care about hello world. This is pretty cool. This is the list of my worries at the moment. I want to do something more fruitful, something more useful. Maybe I want to translate this into something like virus total, no? And I want to say, if this event contains this text that is called virus total, right? I want to run this IP address against virus total. So let's do it really quick. What we have you all here on the session. We'll go in and we'll do and we'll go in and type that command in our workflow. We'll type over here virus total 8.8.8.8, for example, and we just send a notification into this webhook that came up over here. So here you see the ability to see that event that came in, virus total. And all we got to do now is parse that event. So how do we get the data out of that event? Very easy. We can go in and extract all of these IPv4 addresses from the event. So I'll go in, extract all of the IPv4 addresses. I can select it from the event with autocomplete, or I can go into the tree mode and select the text from this one. Right away, this is going to extract all of those IPv4 addresses for me and provide me the results of virus total, right? I can then post the message back into the conversation and say all the results from virus total. No, over here, result for malicious is, and I can select like the result for the, oh no, wait a minute. I have to first send the IP information into virus total. So let me send this IP information for virus total. I will send this IP address from this event, extract IPv4 address, results, and this IP. I will test it against virus total, and now I will send the result into it. So now see 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps that you see here in the platform. These are the results that came back from virus total, and maybe I'm interested on the last piece of metadata that is the results that came back from the statistics. Here you see the statistic results, right? And now I'm ready to send my message back into the chat. So result for malicious is, and I can go in and select from the IPv, the virus total results, go in, and this is get IP information, API object, the data, the attributes, the last analysis statistics, and maybe I just want to send the message of malicious over here, the result for malicious. This is going to allow me to send this information as this is coming in and test it in real time as I'm building this, right? So I can authenticate against Microsoft Teams, test it in real time as I'm building this. This message will now have been sent into this chat over here, and then I can run it live. No, so just like I did over here, I'll go back into this component, I'll save it so you guys can see it, and then I'll go back and type again the virus total 8.8.8.8 and into Teams. Now this has been seen now by Torq. Now the results are going to the virus total engine. I can add a notification before that tells me that something has happened, something has come in, and then the result will bring me back the message that this component has been seen and it has been analyzed by Torq. Now in a very simplistic way by telling me the result for this malicious IP is this in this area. So just like I did the investigation of the virus total IP over here, I can continue to add many more components into the stack, many more components of this that will allow me to add building blocks and just copy and paste this repeatable flow in order to add this into my operation. So do I want to add another command into it? Very easily, I can go in and add another command into it. No, do I want to test things as I'm going? Very easily, I can test things as I'm going through the information, like you saw over here, like the results that came back from the virus total investigation. No, do I want to make it look even nicer? I can format it very simply. In this case, maybe I'll say Teams. Maybe I created a message template over here instead of that message conversation that you saw over here, and I'll send this message template into it in order to show me the results that came back as part of the platform here, like the results for virus total and the details of the results. And I can continue adding more things, make it look nicer, like what you saw over here, the verdict, add actions for the users. And this is accomplishable across any one of those platforms, Slack, Teams, and WebEx. So this was a quick intro on what we can do with Torq and chatbots. Hopefully this was useful for you guys. And now, I think my time is up. I'll turn it back to Chris for any questions. But thank you guys for joining us today and being here with us.
Hey, Marco, thanks so much for that. We do have time for one question here that I received. Is it possible to use adaptive cards or the Slackbot kit to enrich the end user experience with bots?
Yes. Microsoft provides you the ability to use those adaptive cards in order to create your experience like card in like a card. I will show it to all of you guys. This is an interface in order for you to create your own card. You can go in and create your own version of the card, like what you saw here, like that I did for the IP checker. No, and you can design your own version of the card. Copy this into the body of the event that you're going to send into Torq. When you're responding back to the user, the card will show up in their chat box. So the experience is very simple, very easy. We have made it very simple to consume and for everybody. So yes, to the cards question, yes, that is correct.
Great, thank you. And then Marco, any final words for the group here today? If we wrap up.
Yes, wrap up pretty much. We are Torq, no-code automation for security teams. We are making every component that you want to automate simple. We want to bring you like a lot of value from that standpoint. And today you were able to see how simple is it to create chatbots in a matter of minutes. How is it to create your own commands and those components within a couple of clicks and a couple of changes of text that you see. This is what the value that we're bringing, making it easier and for people to gain faster time to value and focus on those security problems that are then the bigger priorities for them. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Marco. And thank you everyone for joining us today. If you'd like to learn more about Torq and how we can transform your security with chatbots, as well as connect and automate your entire tech stack, head on over to torq.io and click Get Started. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Marco.
Thank you.